What's up, everyone? Doing this vlog in a different part of the loft with a somewhat creaky floor. Creak, creak, creak. Whatever. Standing up and wearing a different shirt. And all of this is deliberate. First and foremost, the shirt's my old IBM shirt. ThinkPad, Targus, Centrino. Yeah, it's a little dated. I got this at a conference back in college. So this is a shirt that I haven't worn on a regular basis since my college days. And the big reason why I'm wearing it today is because today I'm back to where I was, weight-wise, when I left the warehouse fiasco. I'm down 55 pounds again. Which to some people may not sound like an achievement to get back to where I am, or to where I was, until they realize that basically what's happened is, without having a big physical job, I've gotten back to where I was the last time I had a hard physical job. And I'm poised to go even further with some of the stuff that I have available nowadays. So, lots been going on, as you can tell. For one thing, I usually like to do tech videos on this channel, but I've been doing a lot of vlogs on the weekends mostly instead, largely because of my night schedule. This floor's pretty creaky around here. I might record somewhere else. Oh, listen to that. Back up a bit. I've mostly been working more nighttime hours and stuff, so the old night videos don't work thing applies once again with my whole video type thing that I do on here. So when I come home, I want to do some exercise too with the Your Shape game that I got for the Wii U a while back. And so what happens is I end up with the whole night videos don't work thing once again, where if you're trying to keep things down to not wake up the neighborhood and stuff like that, it doesn't make for very entertaining videos. So just here to do some vlogging tonight, and maybe I'll have some better luck. Well, I'm not so sure about tomorrow either, because tomorrow is the release of Weird Al Yankovic's Mandatory Fun album. So if I don't buy it auto rip off of Amazon and download everything immediately and then wait for a CD to come in the mail, I'm thinking of taking a trip out to some stores to try and find this sucker, because it's Weird Al Yankovic's supposed last traditional album. So I am very much going to be traditional with it one last time and go deliberately looking for a CD. Plus, I'm thinking of getting his entire discography, all of his regular albums at some point, playing a little catch-up or something along those lines. Yeah, Mandatory Fun's coming out tomorrow. Weird Al actually just posted a video of a hilarious parody of that Happy song that's overplayed all over the place, except with him it's tacky. So, because I'm tacky, yeah, I guess we have a lot to look forward to at this, especially since I'm actually more familiar with some of the songs that he's making fun of this time, because I've been hearing them on pop stations at work and on the radio, and this floor is too darn creaky. Alright, so 55 pounds gone. A lot's been going on with the whole weight loss thing for me in the last couple of weeks, because I went to see my doctor a while back because of some issue, that medical surprise I had that I wound up calling off about. And while we were there, we discovered that my blood pressure is getting borderline. Now here's the problem. Here's the big problem with that. Blood pressure problems are a family thing for me. So there's a genetic component of it, but there's also obesity is also a family thing too, and there's a genetic component for that too with my parents. So I'm wondering if the two are linked. So if I do something about the weight thing, would that help with the blood pressure thing or something like that? I just don't want to end up having to pop pills and stuff like that because of something that's preventable. And a lot of this stuff is preventable with some lifestyle changes. So I want to see exactly how much of this I can deal with via lifestyle changes instead of having to mess with pills or stuff like that or risk dying before my time. So, which I'm sure none of you folks want either. But I've picked up a home blood pressure monitor as one of many ways that I've been attaching hard numbers. I mean, I've been looking at trying to get into better shape for a very long time. I've been playing extra games on the Wii for years. I've been looking at various ways of eating and portion control and trying to figure all that out for quite some time too. Started doing paleo months or so ago, and now paleo forms the basis for what I eat at home. Sometimes I may have like a Subway sub or something like that to break up the monotony of burgers and veggies. But yeah, I'm for the most part paleo. I've eased into paleo, so to speak, by having some stuff that's not paleo every so often. But last week was a real eye-opener. And basically what happened was I found out that there's more hard numbers that I could be working with. And when I got a hold of some of the hard numbers that I haven't previously done a lot with, it really put things into perspective just how much of a horrendous lard-ass glutton I've been all these years. It's crazy. So hard numbers has been the name of the game ever since I found out about this stuff. So what happened? Well, my job has benefits, yay, and one of those benefits is a personal health assessor via WebMD. They recently changed their vendor to WebMD. So here I am over messing around at WebMD, and I'm traditionally I haven't really been the kind of person to really go to WebMD a lot because WebMD kind of has a jokey little reputation among internet nerds like myself as a website that people go to and then within an hour they're convinced they have some terminal illness and they're running to the doctor and the doc just laughs at them and says, just go home, you're fine, quit taking that stuff, quit trying to diagnose yourself, that kind of thing. So that's the sort of thing that I tend to associate WebMD with, is the whole nervous, thinking there's always something wrong with you type thing. But I've actually been poking around, and aside from the health articles and stuff that I've come to associate WebMD with and all that other fun stuff, I also noticed some of their number crunchers. While I was poking around the site, I eventually found a caloric intake number cruncher. Now, some of this was inspired by the basal metabolic rate calculations in your shape. I'm like, is it really that simple? Is metabolism really a factor of your weight and your age and your muscle mass? Yes, that is true, actually. So what I did was I got me some numbers. I wound up getting some numbers about about what I should eat for every day, because that's one thing I've been lacking for the longest time. I mean, I've known about calorie counts for a very long time, but I've never had anything to put them in perspective with. Now I do. And it's a real eye-opener. It's just how much I've been doing an absolutely miserable job of living my life lately by being a lard-ass glutton who eats way too much. And now I finally have some perspective on just how much I've been eating too much. It's crazy. So I did the height, weight, BMI thing and crunched some numbers into this cruncher that they have on there, and it actually gave me a calorie goal to not eat more. So okay, I want to lose 2 pounds, what do I eat per day? And it actually gave me a number that I can work with. And I actually did some more number crunching afterwards and calculated out that if I didn't eat anything except the paleo meals that I have scheduled, I could lose 2 pounds a week easily for a very long time. The issue has been, like, I have, like, weekend fun meals or weekend food, or I'll order out on the weekend or something like that without knowing what's in it. And that's really been the real kicker with this hard numbers thing, is just having some solid numbers to go with. For example, I've pretty much made all the vegetables, which, by the way, have been price dropped down to 99 cents a bag now, so dollar store veggies that are way more nutritious than any other form of dollar store food out there. So we have all of this stuff going on. So yeah, so dollar store veggies, 99 cents, 100 calories per bag. The George Foreman burgers I've been making are about 330 calories, but I'm going to assume like a round number of 300 because we probably lose some of the fat because I'm using a fat-reducing grill. I'm actually using a contact grill that drains away a lot of the fat, and to some people, of course, it drains away the flavor too. But you know, I just need the protein. It's not like it has to be anything spectacular. I mean, it's a cheap hamburger, not like I'm trying to cook a steak or something like that. But yeah, so I basically, so what I've basically been doing is I've never been much of a calorie counter because that's the kind of thing I associate with like fat people going to Weight Watchers and bragging all the time about how they're dieting but not then crying about not getting any results. I mean, that's exactly the kind of thing that I've come to associate calorie counting with. So calorie counting, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't really like going around having to use my wristwatch calculator to calculate everything out. So what I've decided to do is try and come up with some more analog units, so to speak. So what I've done is basically 100 calories is a veggie bag. It's like reinventing imperial measurement units or something. 100 calories is a veggie bag, and 300 calories is a burger. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've looked at some of the labels on some of the stuff in the Aldi stores, in the break room at work, all those snack foods that I used to eat without thinking of them as constituting a full meal or something. And it's crazy how the food industry has got people suckered so much that A set of sandwiches can be as loaded as a burger, or a snack-sized bag of chips that nobody would ever in their right mind consider to be a meal is actually as calorically dense as having a burger. It kind of reminds me of Morgan Spurlock in the Super Size Me movie, going to that school that did the right thing by banning soda and pointing out that the lemonade in their cafeteria has as much sugar as a regular soda does. So it's it's one of those deals. I mean, Nathan's Famous hot dogs, salty as all heck, and I love Nathan's Famous hot dogs, but here's a hot dog with the bun included that's worse than a burger. I might as well have had a burger for the calories that are in it. And then there's muffins, the ultimate loaded big food, convenience food, breakfast ruining, at least as far as nutrition is concerned, piece of crap that there is. Muffins, here we got muffins in the break room, blueberry muffins and strudel muffins. Forgot what they were called. I obviously don't have them very much anymore. We had these muffins in the break room. I look at, oh look, 200 calories, awesome. Then I look at it and it says it has that's 2 servings. So it's a 400 calorie muffin. This muffin is worse than a burger calorie wise. How did we get to this point? Muffins. And by the way, who eats half a muffin anyways? I understand that there are some fussy people out there that eat muffins with forks and knives, and they literally just eat part of their muffin and then save it later. But I know there's people out there to do that, but I have yet to meet any of them. Everybody I've ever known who eats muffins just chows down on the whole thing at once. And that's another thing, too, the nutrition label revamps that have been proposed in Washington. Some of the stuff that the administration's been talking about in terms of revamping nutrition labels so that people can know what they're getting if they eat the whole something or another, instead of playing these serving size games like assuming that someone trying to scarf something on a 15-minute break at work is only going to eat half a muffin and put the rest in the refrigerator. Wow. These food companies don't know when to stop, do they? So it's cool that I'm down 55 pounds, but the good news is, with these hard numbers, I can finally put in perspective just how much I've been overeating all these years. And when I think of what I used to eat without batting an eye, I'm like, how stupid was I? And you know what the sad part is? How come I couldn't have heard of this stuff years ago? I mean, it's not like I didn't have health classes when I was in school. When I was in high school, oh wait, yes, I did have health classes in high school, but we just got condoms shoved in our faces 2/3 of the time. No, seriously, it was about things like teen pregnancy and girls shouldn't get pregnant before they're out of school and stuff like that. And here's how you put a condom on and shove your fists in a condom and try and pull them apart. See how awesome condoms are? Now let's put some Vaseline on them and watch it break. I mean, it's just condoms, condoms, condoms. The problem with my high school health class is that they were catered far too much towards health for teenagers and not nearly enough towards health for the rest of your life. So the only thing we heard regarding dieting and proper nutrition, besides the food pyramid and the 5-a-day vegetable campaign back then, if it was back then, I don't know. The only thing we heard when it came to eating right was, if you want to diet, cut back your portions, but don't starve. My speakers are hissing. Be right back. Do pardon the interruption. I forgot I left my speakers on from playing Your Shape and getting a 10-minute full body workout in. I've been targeting muscle groups for the Your Shape game based on what's not sore, but I also want to add 30 minutes of straight up cardio to that for whatever benefits it can have. Plus, I'm sure my doctor's going to be like, have you been doing something brisk for 30 minutes a day? Yes, I have, even though that's not really the focus of what I'm doing exercise-wise. My family's done cardio for a very long time. My family's been doing cardio for generations without getting hardly any results. The big thing for us is resistance training. We don't do anywhere near enough resistance training, and that's what I intend on doing as well. Especially now that I know that Walmart can hook me up with hand weights up to 40 pounds a pop. So I've got the 10-pounders and the 20-pounders. When those two get too easy, I'm going to get me some 30 or 40-pounders and just do some curling or stuff like that. Because, it's available. Some people have mentioned the idea of joining a gym. I'm not so sure I want to do that because Whether or not I could make it to the gym would depend on which of the two buildings I'm working in. If I'm in building number 1, my main building, it's right on the way home. If I'm in building number 2, where I'm at right now, I'm making a big long trip out of my way just to get exercise. And it's just not worth it. I mean, I can get weights and stuff. And plus, I mean, discipline starts in the home. If you're going to be disciplined, don't make scapegoats based on geographical location. Don't be like, oh, well, it's raining, so I can't exercise today. Find something to do around the house. I mean, if you have a roof over your head, rain should not be a reason to not get proper exercise. So I'm basically going to work with these number crunchers, considering that I've undone the damage I did when I went from a run around like a maniac job to a desk job, although I am kind of doing everything I can to make the desk job not a desk job, and I'm going to be doing some stuff at home too. I actually have a... we got thunder coming through. Anyways, I've actually got something on order. It's a laptop cart that I'm not going to use for a laptop. It's a laptop cart on wheels that goes up about 44 inches. Now, I remember seeing this at one of the buildings I worked at before. Now, what I'm going to do is one of the things that's very popular right now when it comes to wellness in corporate America is things like stand-up desks. So what I'm looking at doing with this laptop cart, as it were, is what I want to do is I want to take this so-called laptop cart and use it as a way to do computer stuff standing up. So I have a stand-up option at home, and I make standing up at the computer the new normal. So, yeah, we got some thunder coming through. Make standing up at the computer the new normal for me. So, basically, if I want to walk around a bit while I have a loading screen, I can just do that. I don't have to worry about getting up. I just walk around a bit while the loading screen's coming up and get away from some of the health issues associated with too much sitting down. So, that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at doing is, and of course when I don't want to use it, I can just wheel it out of the way because it's on wheels. So I'm surprised this isn't something I thought of earlier. I mean, I do use a huge TV as my computer monitor, so just stand back a bit like I'm playing a Wii game and do all my computer stuff that way, standing up. Give me some stand-up options when I'm here. So a lot of stuff going on. My goal, weight-wise, is to make it like college never happened, which I realize is a really big, hairy, audacious goal, as it were, for someone like myself. But, it's one of those shoot for the moon, land among the stars things. Plus, I mean, why not? I mean, I've got the number crunchers. I can actually gauge what it is that I can eat in a day and stay within those numbers and see stuff happen. And hopefully WebMD gets their mathematics correct. So yeah, lots of hard numbers. I've been into a lot of this stuff before, but now I have more hard numbers with this kind of stuff than ever before. I'm down 55 pounds now. Let's see how much further I can go now that I have hard numbers that I can work with. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Thanks for stopping by.